Life often presents us with challenges when we least expect them. For a young girl named Evelyn Glennie living in Scotland, this challenge came quietly, almost like a whisper. It was not a sudden event, but a slow and gradual fading of sound. When she was just 8 years old, her mother called out her name for a piano lesson, but Evelyn did not respond. It was the first sign that something was wrong. Her hearing was slowly deteriorating because of nerve damage. The world, which was once full of the chirping of birds and the chatter of friends, was becoming a silent film for her. This must have been a very frightening and confusing time for a child. As the years passed, the silence grew deeper. By the time Evelyn was 11, her headmistress urged her parents to take her to a specialist. The doctors confirmed their fears. Her hearing was severely impaired. They suggested that she should be fitted with hearing aids and sent to a school for the deaf. For many, this would have been the end of a dream, especially a dream connected to the world of sound and music. It felt like a door was being shut firmly on her future. Imagine a young girl, full of life and energy, being told that one of her most important senses was leaving her forever. It is a heavy burden for such small shoulders to carry. The world around Evelyn started to change. People looked at her with pity. They saw her as a disabled child, someone who needed special help, someone who was different. But inside Evelyn, a fire was burning. She was not ready to accept this label. She wanted to live a normal life, to do everything that other children did. She did not want to be defined by what she could not do, but by what she could. This simple yet powerful desire became the guiding light of her life. It is often in our darkest moments that we find our true strength, and for Evelyn, this was that moment. She was a determined soul, unwilling to let her circumstances dictate her destiny. This early struggle shaped the person she would become. The world told her she was incomplete, that her path was limited. But Evelyn chose to listen to a different voice, the one inside her heart. She refused to be put in a box labeled deaf. This decision was not easy. It meant fighting against the low expectations of society and even the well-meaning advice of adults who thought they knew what was best for her. It was the beginning of a long journey, a journey to prove that a physical limitation is not a full stop, but merely a comma in the story of a person's life. Her spirit was stronger than the silence that was trying to envelop her. Despite the growing silence, Evelyn's love for music did not fade. In fact, it grew stronger, like a flower pushing its way through concrete. She had always been drawn to the world of rhythm and melody. She wanted to play the xylophone, an instrument full of vibrant notes. However, when she expressed this desire at school, most of her teachers discouraged her. They looked at her and saw a girl who could not hear. How could someone who cannot hear the notes possibly play a musical instrument? It seemed like an impossible task, a foolish dream. Their doubts were like tall walls built around her ambition, trying to keep her out. But life has a way of sending us the right person at the right time. While most teachers shook their heads, one man saw things differently. His name was Ron Forbes, a percussionist at her school. He did not see a deaf girl. He saw a passionate musician. He saw the spark in her eyes and the determination in her heart. Instead of telling her it was impossible, he asked a simple but profound question. Why do you need to hear through your ears? Why don't you try to sense it some other way? This was a turning point. It was a moment of hope, a small crack of light in a dark room of doubt. Ron Forbes's idea was revolutionary. He decided to teach Evelyn not to listen, but to feel. He started by tuning 2 large drums to different notes. He told her, don't listen through your ears. Try to feel the vibrations in different parts of your body. This was a completely new way of thinking about music. It was not about hearing with the ears, but about experiencing sound with the entire being. It was a challenge that required immense focus and a deep connection between mind and body. For Evelyn, this was the key that would unlock the world of music she so desperately wanted to be a part of. This new approach opened up a whole new world for her. As Ron Forbes struck the drums, Evelyn began to concentrate. She discovered that she could feel the higher drum's vibrations from the waist up and the lower drum's vibrations from the waist down. It was a moment of pure magic and revelation. She was not just hearing music, she was feeling it resonate through her bones and skin. This discovery proved that her teachers were wrong. Music was not just for the ears, it was an experience for the entire body. Her dream was not dead, it had just found a new, more profound way to come alive. This newfound ability to feel music became Evelyn's superpower. She realized that every part of her body could become an instrument for sensing vibrations. She learned to feel the resonance of different notes in different places. The journey was not easy. It required immense dedication and countless hours of practice. She had to train her mind and body to become extraordinarily sensitive. She would often practice barefoot on a wooden platform. This allowed her to feel the vibrations passing through the floor, up through her feet and legs. The wood became her ear, connecting her directly to the soul of her instruments. Her training was rigorous and unlike that of any other musician. She had to open her mind, as she would say, to sounds and vibrations. She explained that the music tingled in her skin, her cheekbones, and even in her hair. When she played the xylophone, she could feel the sound flowing up the stick and into her fingertips. When she played the drums, she would lean against them to feel their deep resonance echo through her chest. It was a complete physical experience. She was not just playing the music, she was becoming the music. Her body was the conductor, the orchestra, and the audience all at once. Her hard work and unique method began to pay off. She decided to make music her life and auditioned for the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London. This was a very brave step. She was a young girl from Scotland who could not hear, trying to get into one of the world's best music schools. Many would have thought it impossible. But when she played, the judges were left speechless. They did not hear a deaf musician. They heard a phenomenal talent. Her performance was so powerful and precise that she scored one of the highest marks in the history of the Academy. Her time at the Royal Academy was a testament to her sheer will. She proved that her method of feeling music was not just a trick. It was a legitimate and powerful way to create art. She graduated with top honors, winning many awards along the way. She had climbed a mountain that everyone said was impossible to climb. Her success was not just a personal victory, it was a victory for anyone who had ever been told they could not do something because of a physical limitation. She had shown the world that true ability comes from the heart and the mind, not just from the senses we are born with. After graduating, Evelyn Glennie did not just become a successful musician, she became a global phenomenon. She embarked on a solo career as a percussionist, a path that few musicians take. She traveled the world, performing in the grandest concert halls and collaborating with the most famous orchestras. She could play over 1,000 instruments, from the familiar drums and xylophone to exotic instruments from different cultures. Her concerts were not just musical performances, they were displays of incredible energy, passion, and connection. Audiences were mesmerized by how she could command such a vast array of instruments with such grace and power, creating a symphony of sounds she could only feel. Evelyn's fame brought with it a great responsibility, which she embraced with an open heart. She became a beacon of hope for millions of people around the world, especially for those with disabilities. Her story was a powerful reminder that challenges are not barriers but opportunities for greatness. She gave numerous interviews and masterclasses, always with a smile and a message of encouragement. She once said, "If you want to do something, you will find a way. If you don't, you will find an excuse." Her life was living proof of these words. She showed everyone that deafness was not a handicap that stopped her, but a unique quality that shaped her extraordinary musical journey. Her contribution to music and humanity has been recognized with numerous awards and honors, including being made a Dame Commander of the British Empire. But perhaps her greatest achievement is the change she brought about in people's attitudes. She broke down stereotypes about disability. She taught the world that we should not look at what a person has lost, but at what they have. She inspired countless children, both with and without disabilities, to pursue their passions without fear. She worked tirelessly for charities that help bring music to deaf children, opening up the world of vibrations for them, just as Ron Forbes had done for her. The story of Evelyn Glennie is much more than a tale of a musician. It is a story about the human spirit. It teaches us a simple but profound lesson. Determination, passion, and hard work can help us overcome any difficulty life throws our way. It shows that our perceived weaknesses can sometimes become our greatest strengths. Evelyn did not just learn to live with silence. She learned to listen to it, to find the music within it, and to share that music with the world. Her life is a beautiful symphony, a salute to the unyielding power of a strong will. It reminds us all that the only real disability in life is a negative attitude,